Hi guys, welcome back to another Season 15 review. My name is Maddy Morphosis.
My name is Miss Liza, and today we are going to be reviewing episode 11 of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, the Stand-Up Comedy Challenge.
Yeah, so this is one that I'm normally very excited for, and I did not enjoy this episode.
No?
I didn't like it. I understand why they put them in teams to shake things up, make things new, but I feel like it made the comedy worse.
I thought the teams was a really good idea, though, because as somebody that's not very good at, stand-up comedy, having somebody to, bounce off of would be so much easier, I think, than just being by myself. But you're a really funny person.
Well, even if it's not about me, even if that is the case, that's why I like it. Let someone flounder. That's how you get some of the most iconic moments. Like to have Laganja Estranja look an old woman in her face and say, "Dry, kind of like your vagina." And she didn't have anyone to save her from that moment. That's why it makes it so great. Some people prosper and they really bloom. And some people have the most cringe moments in Drag Race history.
It does give some really cringe moments, which is really entertaining for a viewer. So I guess I understand where you're coming from. I really liked the teams aspect of it, though. I thought it was different. I thought it made it go a little bit better, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that. We'll dissect that. So, starting our episode off, we begin in the workroom where Luxx and Loosey are having it out over Loosey's runway.
I mean, Luxx said what we were all thinking.
She was right.
She was right. Like, where's your baby bump? The whole concept of that look is the fact that Beyonce was pregnant, so you have to have a baby bump. And she's like, I want to give Beyonce body. I'm like, yeah. Beyonce's body in that moment was pregnant.
We're not going to go into the look too much because we talked about it last episode, and that's a whole can of worms. If you want to know our full, unadulterated, unedited thoughts, that's where they're going to be at. But as far as like the little spat, yeah, I agree with Luxx. It's like, where's the baby bump? And Loosey knows she was wrong too, because she even went on Twitter a short while later and was like, Luxx was right.
I think at this point, they've had so much confrontation between the two of them that neither one is ever going to admit that the other one is right.
Yeah.
So she was willing to die on that hill.
Two unstoppable forces.
Yes. So in order to pick their teammates, the queens go up to a chest of ice and they pull out a carbonated water soda. Who does not sponsor us. So, carbonated water soda.
Thank you, water.
Thank you, carbonated water soda. And the matching cans indicate who your teammate's going to be. In the end, there is one queen who does not have a partner, and that is Salina Estides. And she gets the option to either go solo or steal a partner from another pair. If it was you, and you had that option to go solo or steal somebody, what would you do?
It would depend.
Okay.
So, me personally, I said a little bit earlier, I hate the team aspect of it. I would love to go alone. I feel confident in myself, confident in my abilities for like a stand-up comedy challenge.
You're a funny girl.
And I also don't want to be responsible for someone else, because someone else can mess it up for me. I might give the wrong jokes for them. The team might go down. No, like I'll do it by myself. Unless there's somebody that I am fully confident will bomb. And I will take their partner so that they can flop. It's strategy. $100,000, $200,000 is on the line, or is it $250,000? I don't even know. It's a lot of money.
I guess so.
Even the win, $5,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, let them flop.
Yeah. I think I would have chosen to steal a partner also, just because, like I said earlier, I'm not like the most confident in my stand-up abilities. So I think having somebody to be able to bounce off of would be a lot easier for me. I think I would have stolen Sasha.
Really?
I think so, because I think there's a set there between me and Sasha making jokes about womanhood, and I think it could be really funny about making jokes about how society treats women, and I can't make fun of being a woman with somebody that's not a woman.
Yeah.
So I mean, she would kind of be my only option in this group, or I think I would choose Loosey.
I think Loosey would be a good choice too for stand up.
Yeah, I think if I was confident, feeling very good about myself that day and sure that I could lead a team, I would pick Sasha. But I think if I was feeling really nervous, maybe if I hadn't been doing very well in the competition, I would have picked Loosey, because as we see later in the episode, she's very good at this kind of stuff, and I think I would have picked her.
Yeah. Because you would pick Loosey because you just want to let loose.
Let loose.
So Salina ends up being by herself, but she's given the option to steal a partner from someone or to go solo. She chooses to steal Mistress away from Marcia.
Yes.
And I remember when I saw that, my first thought was, Marcia, you in danger, girl. Because Marcia does not strike me as someone who has stand-up comedy in her wheelhouse.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't really seem like she doesn't seem like a outwardly funny girl, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, I mean, she's funny in some of her confessionals,
she's
but
funny.
It's a different kind of funny.
It is a different kind of funny. Like, I feel like I'm funny in the way that like I can like call and response with you.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm funny in the way that you need to be funny for a challenge like this. Like, I can't sit down and write like jokes with puns.
I know that they have a sponsor this episode, but I've never seen a sponsor push so hard. They talk about it in the Untucked. Every person is showing their cans, mentioning it. In the stand-up challenge, the audience members are holding cans, and RuPaul is wearing a dress made of soda pop tabs.
How much do you think Bubbly paid for this episode?
I don't know.
It has to be like an absurd amount of money, right?
Well, they also paid for the prize for the winners.
Yes. So I don't know how much money Bubbly is shelling out for RuPaul's Drag Race, but it is paying the bills.
Yeah. And Drag Race is the only place I've ever seen an ad for them because they really only want.
Too.
Yeah.
I think about it. Yeah.
It's like, do you just want one target demographic? It's so specific.
I thought Bubbly was like.
They push hard for it too.
They do. I kind of thought Bubbly was like the carbonated water version of House of Love cocktails.
No.
But it's not. It's like a normal brand. It's like not owned by RuPaul.
No.
It was in Target.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have it at the Smiths.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Rue's dress is fun. I like it.
It's very fun. I like it a lot. Up first, starting off the comedy challenge, we have Miss Marcia.
Yeah. And before we go any further, I will say, like, no one did awful. We didn't get the super iconic, terribly bad cringe moments.
Yeah, I guess there was no, like, terribly bad.
It wasn't terrible, but Marcia did not do good.
She didn't do great, but I will say I think she did a pretty decent job considering her lack of experience doing this. I don't imagine with how, green she is to drag that she's been doing a lot of hosting gigs, and she said that this is not really in her wheelhouse, So I think given all of those factors, she did a decent enough job. She should be proud of herself, but I do think she deserved to be in the bottom.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just like the jokes aren't really like landing so much.
Yeah, they weren't.
I don't know.
She like threw them out there. Mm-hmm. Nothing stuck.
Yeah, she was making jokes about like Carson and Ross being twins, and then she said something. She was very self-deprecating, which self-deprecation can work.
But you have to be funny.
Yeah, but you gotta be funny. Up next, we have the dynamic duo of Luxx and Loosey.
I think that Luxx and Loosey were the clear winners in this challenge by a long shot. Like, there were really from what we saw at least, there were no awkward pauses. They knew exactly what they were going to say. Their jokes all landed. It was cohesive in the way that they started the joke, set it up, and then delivered the punchline. I thought they did fantastic. I think the only thing that I really wasn't a huge fan of was like the cadence of their voices. They're like, how white was it? It was so white.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier about the fact that they're doing it in teams, where it's like it's less about just like talking and doing stand up the way you would, and then more so like building like a system of like call and response. It's too rehearsed, and like
I guess that's
it made it really disjointed and awkward for me.
Oh, really? It was very rehearsed. Like, I think if Luxx was able to make it seem a bit more like organic and natural, it would have been, I think, an outstanding performance. I thought Loosey was really good. I thought that she sounds very comfortable and she knew what she was going to say, and it sounded like a natural flow of a joke. And then Luxx was just in the background like, yeah, boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, boss, get him, boss. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, if you know someone in your group is like a better like stand-up comedian, it's not your strong suit, maybe it's better to kind of take the reins and be like the hype man.
Oh, yeah. Like, if we were doing a comedy challenge like this, I would absolutely be your minion.
Yeah.
Like, just in the background, like, yeah, how white was it?
You're just holding a blinking sign that says applause.
I have your cue cards.
Yeah. I think Loosey did the best in the challenge.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job.
I don't like how rehearsed everything seems, which is not just them, it's some of the other people too, which we'll discuss, but overall, not terrible.
Good job. The next team we have is Sasha and Anetra.
It wasn't as bad as Marcia's, but I didn't really enjoy it that much.
Really? I thought it was worse than Marcia's.
You thought it was worse than Marcia's?
Yeah, absolutely. It was so cringy to me whenever they were like mumbling and just like talking over each other.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, like, I think that is a consequence of doing stuff as a pair, but I think because they're a pair, they got to save each other from some of the jokes by, like, segueing it and moving it along.
Mm-hmm.
Marcia didn't get that. She had to wallow in the silence of some of her jokes.
Yeah, but I feel like because of that, like, I feel like this is more punishable than Marcia's because she didn't have anybody to save her. She was on her own. These two had each other and still failed. So I feel like it's a greater offense than Marcia. Also, I love Sasha to death, but why did nobody tell her that her wig line looked like that?
Oh, like her hair coming out of the
back.
Her
hair coming out of the back is so egregious. Like, it's platinum blonde and she has dark-ass hair.
To be fair.
It looks like weeds in the back.
All her runways have been good. I think she probably is borrowing this hair from someone. She's like, I need a different hair because, you know, it's not a runway. It's just a challenge. Yeah. And she has a lot of hair to shove in that wig.
She does.
So she's like, I just need something appropriate. So I'll let it go.
She does, but as somebody who also has a lot of hair to shove in a wig, it could have been better than that.
Yeah.
It could have been better than that.
But in their defense, it added something funny to the set.
It was the only thing funny about the set.
You think as a set it was worse than Marcia's, but do you think any of them individually was worse than Marcia?
I thought Anetra was really bad.
You think so?
I thought so. Yeah, I thought Marcia and Anetra were clear bottom two for me. Sasha, I think, was part of the worst set, but I do think that she tried harder.
She was the better half of the set.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I think she was the saving grace to this set. So I think Anetra deserved to be in the bottom more than she did. So, yeah, I think Marcia and Anetra for sure.
I can vibe with that. And following them is Mistress and Salina.
I thought there were aspects about this routine that were funny, but I think that just like the setup took so long for every joke that it really took me out of it.
Yeah. Like
they each had really funny parts wherever Salina was like talking about Mistress's belly compared to her belly, and then like I think the idea of like her going into a laundromat and finding that the guy that she wants to bottom for is a bottom, I don't know, and like the stone on the phallus, I thought that like could have been funny, but it just took so long to get there that it like was like, okay, girl.
Yeah.
Where are the jokes?
Yeah, it's like you only have a short amount of time, and they're taking one story which wasn't that funny to begin with, and like stretching it out and trying to add little jokes in there. I think it would have been funnier if they told like a couple shorter stories that somehow tied together.
Yeah, I agree. They kind of like maybe had a theme because they wanted to go for something that was like more raunchy. Mm-hmm. I feel like you could have, like you said, done a bunch of, or maybe like 3 like raunchy short stories. They kind of had an overarching theme, and then the last one brought back like that final pun. Yeah. You know? But it just took so long.
Yeah. And when your friend is telling you a story.
and you're like trying to be polite.
Yeah. Or it's like that thing whenever Ross gives critiques. It's like, you know that thing where sometimes you go to a party and there's this guy and you're dressed as Santa or you're dressed as Mrs. Claus and he comes up to you, but he still wants to hit. And it's like, it keeps going. It's just like, can this just stop? I'm kind of over this right now. Yeah, I don't want to do this no more. I zoned out of your. I'm disassociating and thinking about what I'm having for dinner. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think Salina and Mistress are 2 very funny people, and they're the ones I expected to do the best, outside of maybe Loosey. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. And something about Mistress too. The way she's telling the story, it feels like she's doing a character, and I would much rather hear Mistress just tell the story the way she would tell it.
I think that they got in their heads about it. Like, I think that they know that they are funny people, so I think they kind of like psyched themselves out. They're like, we have to be extra funny, extra raunchy, extra, and they tried to be so extra that they kind of missed the mark a little bit.
Yeah, I think there's a time and place for extra, but I mean, you know me. I love good deadpan, low energy sometimes. Yeah. That's funny to me.
Like, dry humor is really funny to me. Yeah. I think it would have been really funny if one of them was super extra and one of them was really dry. Mm-hmm. I think it would have balanced each other out, but they did okay. Like, I definitely think it was, like, safe.
And with that, the comedy challenge is over, and it's time for the runway. First up, we have Miss Marcia.
So the category was rip her to shreds. Yeah. Right? So it's like distressed, like ripping kind of stuff. I thought this was okay. I like the concept of it where, like, she won, but, like, they tried to steal her crown from her and, like, clawed her to death kind of thing. However, with a lot of Marcia's stuff, it is, like, the concept is good, but I just feel like it's not big enough. It's not drag enough. It's not quite, you know, like, over the top enough. It looks like she's wearing like a Ross dress that she kind of just like cut up at the skirt and then added some slits to. I like the concept. I like the idea. I just don't think the execution is big enough.
Yeah. I also think it suffers because it was done so shortly after Loosey did hers. And the judges were telling her, you saw her do that, you should have changed yours. Like, no, like I brought what I brought.
Yeah, it's going to be what it's going to be.
I do think the hair should have been messed up a little bit more. I think the makeup could have been messed up. Because, I mean, this is not messed up makeup. This is like, it looks so deliberate. She looks like, from like right here, she looks like she just came, she's like a groupie at a metal concert.
Yeah, it's very precise.
It's too precise.
Tears.
Yeah. No, for some reason, she's not good at running liquid. It's the same way with like her tie-dye runway, where it's like the blood drops, she looks like a turkey, and now the tears, and she looks like she's in a metal band. Like, it's not giving the effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of this runway. I like the story. I love a good story. But I just don't like the way she like presented it.
I agree.
Up next, we have Spooky Babaduka.
From the neck down, I really enjoy this look. I think it's really fun. I think it's like Bram Stoker, kind of Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Not
Ferratu. Ferratu.
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. I really like it from the neck down. However, from the neck up, it is horrifying.
Well, that's the point.
I know, but you can make it horrifying, but still really nice to look at. This is scary.
Yeah, she looks like the nun from Insidious.
Oh, she looks like a sleep paralysis demon.
I think this is a look that's meant to be seen from a distance.
Yeah.
You know, it's like from a distance. It's like when she walked around the corner at Amelia, I was like, whoa. And that's the effect it's supposed to have. But as she keeps doing all the close-ups and stuff, I'm like, ooh, I'm liking it less. And the outfit is too muted. It's too monotone. I think maybe she should have like dirtied the tights or something, or wore a different color shoe. But like everything being that exact same color of cream, it all just kind of blurs together. I
do think that like I see what you're saying, where she could have made it a little bit more dirty. At the bottom, like she literally just crawled out of the earth kind of thing. I still like it though. I think that it's really fun. I like the nude aspect of it. I do think that she could have put maybe like some like darker stoneworking at the bottom where it's like distressed to kind of add a little bit of texture to it. But really, honestly, my main critiques of this look are literally her face.
Yeah. Well, even the hair is the same color. Because
the hair is scary too.
I would have been okay with this being monochromatic, but it's not. It's one color. It's just beige. It's too much beige. And then like the hands should be the same color as the face, not the same color as the outfit. Yeah, the makeup is a lot to look at, but it was impactful though.
It definitely made an impact.
As soon as she turned the corner, it was like the most like shocked I was, and not scared at first. I was just like, "Ooh, spoopy, Dracula, horror." But yeah, just, the longer I look at it, the less I like it, and like you said, the makeup is not hitting as much for me.
This is what Loosey looks like when nobody let loose. The look is just honestly so scary. And whenever she hissed at the camera, whenever she was on the runway, she was like, she looked at the judges and she went. I was
like, you grabbed the squirt bottle. Like,
yeah. Up next, we have Luxx Noir London.
I thought this was a really well done recreation of a RuPaul look. Took RuPaul's look, cleaned it up a little bit, and like kind of dragged it up, made the hair a little bigger. This is from RuPaul's days, being in a punk band, Wee Wee Pole. I think it's a fine look. I think it's a great reference. My problem being, sometimes Luxx's drag is a little too referential between like this and the Bob Mackie outfit. It seems like she's trying to appeal to RuPaul's nostalgia and the Thierry Mugler. I feel like she's like trying to appeal to RuPaul's nostalgia a little too much, and it's starting to like teeter on the line of pandery.
Yeah, I agree. I think 1 reference would have been okay. 2 is kind of like, eh. But 3, we're at 3 references now that are, a reference, a callback to either RuPaul himself or another, queer icon. We have Terry Mugler, RuPaul, Bob Mackie, worn by RuPaul. So,
and now direct RuPaul reference.
I just feel like we really need to see like who Luxx is. And I know that she loves fashion, and I know that fashion is full of history and references, but like, who are you outside of referencing somebody else?
Yeah.
Or she could have even taken it, done the look, but in her own way.
Yeah.
But this is a direct
recreation.
It's not an inspiration. And the other 2 were also direct replications. So I just really want to see what Luxx's sense of fashion looks like outside of things that have already been created.
Yeah. But overall, I enjoyed the outfit. I thought it was appropriate for the category. I did think like the ripped little shreds could have been a little bit more like distressed or something, because they did seem a little
clean,
a little like just panels.
I agree.
But overall, I enjoyed the outfit.
Yeah. Next, we have Sasha Colby.
I really enjoy the base of this outfit.
Uh-huh.
I love like the different shades of denim. It's very early 2000s, and like all the rips and everything. I think she's very good at like placing things where they need to go. Like, it doesn't seem too busy on one side and bare on the other. It has like these holes, but then busy spots, and I think it's really well done. But I will say the added like, the little or like the chains or like little crystals, like the beaded fringe that's going on. It makes the outfit a little too busy.
I agree. I think that she could have had a few fringes of like the rhinestone chain or beaded fringe, whatever it is. She could have had a few aspects of it to kind of add like that texture, that shininess, that extra element to it. But I do agree with you. I think how much she has kind of swallows the outfit a little bit.
Yeah. It gives me the same feeling as when I see a pair of like tangled up headphones. It gives me like, I think she looks very beautiful in it, but it does give me anxiety a little bit. It's just like too busy.
Yeah, and I know the category was distressed, and I think she definitely hit that on the head, and she looks gorgeous. But I do think that it is a little busy.
Yeah. Overall, not the worst.
No.
But I think this look was done without the little beaded fringe. I would have liked it more.
Me too.
Up next, we have Anetra.
I really like this look. I think it's really fun. It reminds me of those t-shirts that you would make in like the early 2000s where you would like rip it and then tie it.
Oh, and you wear like another shirt underneath it?
Yeah, exactly. You like middle school PE class.
Yeah.
I really like it. She reminds me, she's giving me like spider vibes. Like almost like a spider web, and then like the pieces in her hair are kind of reminiscent of a web also. I really like it. I think she looks really fierce.
Yeah,
not in a bad way.
I'm normally not the biggest fan of Anetra's runways, because I think she always looks good, but a lot of times her runways do seem like they're just performance outfits that she added stuff to.
I agree.
This one is very different. It still feels almost like a performance outfit, but it has like these extra little elements to it. It's very different from some of the stuff she's worn, and I really enjoyed it. Did not understand her story for it at all, though. Do you remember her story?
No, what was it?
She kept telling us like, this outfit is based on like a lotus coming out of a pond, out of the mud. Right. And I was like, what?
Oh, yeah. No, that doesn't make any sense.
I think it's a great outfit, but it lost me more at the story, because I was like, I don't understand. Like, she's got like little things, like little headpiece and stuff, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't get that. I'm
not getting that from it.
I'm not getting that.
I don't know. I feel like maybe like production was like, what's the story behind it? What does it mean? It kind of looks like a lotus.
Somebody in the back was like, lotus.
I would have just been like, as a cute outfit. I don't know. I like black and pink.
Well, I mean, I understand her trying to like, create a story behind something that just is cute, but to me it gives more spider than lotus.
Yeah.
So
overall, I enjoyed it.
I really like it.
Very different.
It's one of my favorites, I think.
Yeah. And following her, we have Salina Estides.
As a person whose mother is also an immigrant, I really appreciate the message that she's trying to send. Like, I know my mother went through a lot to get to the United States and a lot to create a good place for her family to be. So I really empathize with the story that she's trying to tell and how much this story means to her. However, I don't really like the dress itself.
Yeah. This is like the exact opposite thing. With Anetra, I love the outfit, but I didn't care for the story. This one, I love the story. I don't care for the outfit.
I agree with the guest judge when she said that the outfit should have been made of the blanket.
Yeah, exactly. Because like the blanket feels almost like an afterthought, and like the outfit itself, it's again like so monochromatic, similar to Loosey's. It's so like monochromatic.
Yeah, we're not seeing a lot of like detail in it.
Yeah. Like the only thing that gives any inclination of like someone crossing the border for their family is the blanket. Yes. And it's like just so small, just in the back.
Yeah. Because the blanket, the style of blanket is a very big culture. It has cultural significance. So I think it would have been really great to have the outfit being made of that. I think that some sort of like updo that was like very messy, kind of like a tousled updo where it looks like she's been like running for a while, or like the wind has like pulled this beautiful like bun into like some tendrils flying across her face. Maybe have some like dirt across her legs or something. Like I just think that it could have been elevated to be a lot more impactful than it is, because like you said, there's not a lot of detail that we're seeing because it's so monochromatic. And I know that she wants to depict like this beautiful image of this beautiful like analogy of the action, because you know the desire to create a better place for your family, a better life for your family is very beautiful. So she wanted, you know, to appear beautiful doing it. But I just don't think that it came across in the way that she intended. Yeah,
I think it's a balance to strike, and I don't think she hit that balance.
I agree. Last but not least, we have Mistress Isabel Brooks.
This was one of my favorites on the runway. I thought it was really fun. She's always good at her proportions, but like I think this is one of the more like believable distressings of the outfit. It does look like it's kind of like what Marcia was going for, where like they tore her dress apart. This looks like someone actually tore this apart.
Yeah.
Like the singeing is good, the tears. My only critique of this, and it's the same critique I have for a lot of people, the hair should be like the same energy.
Oh, I see.
Because the hair is so pretty. The same thing with Marcia is like the outfit's torn out, but the hair is immaculate. With Salina's, the outfit's torn up, the hair is immaculate. The only person that really leaned in to like messing it all up was Loosey. She took it too far.
Too far, Loosey.
She let two loose. She let two loose. But this one, it's just not quite enough for me. It's a little bit more.
I don't know. I kind of disagree, because I think that this look is based off of like the beauty of the Hollywood glamour, you know, the big hair that's very sculpted, very beautiful. So I think that it's fine in this aspect because the time period, it fits the time period. To me, it looks like somebody had, you know, tried to rip this Hollywood movie star's dress off of her.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's a very like physical event. Yeah. And it tore up the dress all the way from the bottom up to like the bustier. It would have got some of the hair too, or even just like it looked like if it was teased in one spot, like someone just grabbed the hair, it would have added to it. But it's just, again, this is a small grab. I'm really nitpicking this, but I think that would have like added just like a little bit something extra.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree, because I think if you had just one area of your hair that was really messed up, like it, I don't think that would come across as intentional. I think it would probably just look like your hair's messed up.
I disagree, because the skirt is like really only messed up in one big spot too. It would have been the same effect.
I disagree.
Well, you're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
Yeah, agree to disagree. Okay. But it is one of my favorite looks.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
Mine too.
And with that, we have our tops and our bottoms for the week. The winner of the challenge is Loosey and Luxx, which I think we both agree with.
Yeah, definitely. I think they were clear winners.
Yeah. And in the bottom, we had Anetra and Marcia.
Also, I think the clear bottoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the writing was on the wall for all four of these queens.
Yeah. I think the judging was...
I think it was very fair this episode.
Pretty on the money this episode.
I think so too.
Yeah. With that, Loosey finally has another win.
That's like, what, 5 now?
Something like that. I can't keep track. I don't have that many fingers. But she does have to share it with Luxx.
Yeah, that's so funny, because they had that big argument. And she has to like share that righteous win.
Can you imagine if you're lip syncing and you turn around and Loosey's just looking at you with that face?
I would just combust.
Just let loose. It's scary, right?
That was horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really scary.
Yeah. But with that, we do have the lip sync between Anetra and Marcia. And what a delight it was.
What a delight. I'm sure at this point you guys have all seen it, because we are a couple of weeks late. Again. But, oh my God, how amazing was that, you guys? That was so good. I think this makes up for all of the really bad lip syncs this season has had so far. It's really ironic because we have had such fantastic lip syncs this season between like Jax and Anetra, Sasha, Marcia. Like these are all really fantastic lip syncs, but I think we've also had some really bad ones.
Stinkers.
Some stinkabutts. Like
yeah.
I
will say I said this weeks ago during one of the reviews. The only thing that would have sold it for me more, and I was waiting for it to happen, was if Jax did like a jump or flip over, kind of like the Honey Balenciaga versus Michaela, like the ballroom moment.
Yeah, the latex
I was
ball.
waiting for that, and whenever Aura hit the ground, was laying there, and like Jax was flipping over her, I thought she was about to do it. That would have been the nail in the coffin.
That would have been. They would have ended the lip sync there.
That would have been one of the most iconic moments in Drag Race history. It did not happen, but here we are, weeks later, and it's exactly what I wanted.
You're clairvoyant.
I literally said in that moment, I said if Jax did that, she'd be the immediate winner. And the moment Anetra did this, I was like, she won.
It's over.
Marcia was like doing like the most. Anetra like saw her moment, and like the mental fortitude and like the talent as a performer to like know what's happening around you, to see that, know the timing of the lip sync, and to make that decision in the moment.
And also, like,
so
you have
good.
to think about, she jumped over her into a somersault, and she has a wig on, and she has these things poking out of her hair. So, like, she had to be aware enough of her body to not hurt herself or Marcia, because if she had jumped over Marcia and landed on her, it would have gone the exact opposite way. Like, immediate disqualification, you know? But I was gagged, absolutely gagged whenever Marcia did the backbend. I was like, oh my gosh, she's really turning it out. And then Anetra jumped over her, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's it. But I will say, Marcia,
she held her own.
She put her whole pussy into that lip sync.
Yeah.
She said, if I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose in the best lip sync of the season. Mm-hmm. And she did. This was amazing.
Yeah. I think of all the lip syncs this season, this is the one I'm the most likely to go back and rewatch. It was so enjoyable. They both did so well. I think if there ever was a double save, it should have been used in this moment.
Yeah. I have rewatched it. I think I've watched it like 4 or 5 times. There are some times where like we watch drag or we watch Drag Race and we're like, oh, like why is the community like this? Like, you know, sometimes it's not super fun. You know, there's a lot of negativity and things like that. But then there are moments like this where I think collectively the entire queer community was like overjoyed. Like, this renewed my love for drag.
No, this is they both turned it out. They both did amazing.
Turned it out.
And it was such a great lip sync song.
It was good, yeah.
I think probably the 2 best people for the song.
Yeah, this was fantastic. Yeah. Like this was my favorite lip sync of the season. I think it's going to be really hard to top that.
Yeah, but with that, Miss Marcia does have to sashay away.
Yes.
And I agree with the lip sync. I agree with Marcia sashaying, but I still stand firmly in that. Like I would much rather have seen them both stay after that.
Yeah, I think I'm not a huge fan of like double saves because I feel like it's a competition. You know, one of them did better than the other.
Yeah.
You know, like almost always. But I do think that they both turned it out really, really, really well. But I do think at the end of the day, I do think Anetra won.
Yeah.
I think the moment that she jumped over her, it was kind of over for her.
Yeah.
Because like, how do you come back from that? Because no matter what you do, it's kind of like tainted. You know, she would have had to like shade her like crazy at some point past that.
You know, Marcia didn't know what happened until after.
I did, yeah. She said in the Roscoe's viewing party that she had no idea.
Yeah, they told her, they're like, what was it like whenever she jumped over you? And she was like, she did what?
She did what? What now?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Marcia really put up a fight, and there are not a lot of people that could hold their own against a performer like Anetra.
Yeah.
So kudos to you, Marcia. You did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I think Marcia will do amazing on like tour and doing some shows and stuff.
Me
and
too.
I don't think it's the last we've seen of her.
I don't think so either.
But with that, she does have to sashay away.
Yes.
Fly high, Marcia.
Fly high. That is the end of this episode. Join us next week as we review the next episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15.
Episode 12, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end.
Getting close to the end. We are down to the wire. I think the next episode has the top 7.
It's less than that. It's like 5.
5? Wow. 6, I think.
6. I don't know.
I don't know. There are still queens here. Mm-hmm. Many have left.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a really good episode. I really enjoyed this one, and the next review will be posted soon, and that is actually my favorite episode of the whole season. So go watch that one.
Yeah.
Until then, please do not send any of the queens hate. They are just making a TV show for our enjoyment. So
good vibes only.
Good vibes only. My name is Miss Liza.
I am Maddy Morphosis, and thank you all so much for watching. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.